two sets of brothers and kind of grew up together. Our families knew each other. I mean, I was 4 years old when we met, and so fast forward 2014, we were down in the southern Indiana area. I mean, we did everything together. Actually only three of us had our licenses back then, so I mean, we'd all pile into one vehicle and go bombing around.
We did about everything together, went to church together, then kind of all just getting driver's licenses and trying out our freedoms, I guess. We decided to take a trip, something we hadn't done before. We went out to a concert in North Carolina and seeing the group, The Inspirations, who we listened to a lot of their music. We got asked over and over again if we were singers. It's the four of us guys. I think we were probably the only four guys under 50 years old there. So people just thought we were singers because we liked that kind of music.
So that kind of, I guess, gave us the thought in our head, like, hey, this would be maybe fun to try. And so we started singing a little bit together, and we had no idea what we were doing. I think we were all singing the same part at the same time. And so yeah, it definitely took a lot of work and practice to get to the point where we at least sound halfway decent.
One night we just sat up in the car all night long, just singing along to songs, and just like, hey, let's give it a whirl. We're like calling our folks up and like, hey, Mom and Dad, we're gonna try singing, and we were singing to them over the phone. I mean, it had to sound pretty bad. I mean, I don't know if you call it singing.
Got ourselves a cheap sound system and started singing, or if you could call it singing. We did a lot of howling up in the attic and out in our yard, and probably annoyed the neighbors, but eventually it turned into something that we really liked doing. We practiced several times a week for the next year, and then we had I think it was almost a year before we had, maybe 8 months before we had our first concert.
I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in, and there will I from heaven.
One of the videos, Just a Little Talk with Jesus, I mean, it was nothing professional at all by a long shot, but we threw that on Facebook, and I mean, it hit 9 million views in a very short amount of time. People were sharing it with their friends, and we started getting emails and calls, and we didn't have internet back then. We'd go to the library or to the park for Wi-Fi, and we'd be sitting there with a notebook and just writing down email addresses, people to call back.
Through that, we started booking a lot of events like in the Midwest and South, a lot of Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, Indiana.
Got a lot of calls to go to different churches and traveled a lot down through the Bible Belt and learning how to sing, meeting a lot of people down there. We were pretty overwhelmed with the amount of stuff we were getting, and through that we started the next several, I think 2 or 3 years, we started touring. We had at least a concert every week, if not two.
Early 2016, we get an email. There was a Moravian church in Alaska, kind of the southwest corner, right on the Bering Sea, that every year had a youth event, and they'd fly in youth groups from surrounding villages, and they usually got another group in, Chuck Wagon Gang sometimes, and this year they had a cancellation, and they kind of started to hear our music, and they wanted to fly us out there.
They ended up having us come out. They had a youth singspiration is what they called it, and basically they flew in all the youth from the surrounding villages, and there ended up being about 800 people that they flew in. We did a concert out there, very remote village.
It was definitely a great opportunity because it was kind of a dark area as far as it was very remote. I feel like a lot of the people there kind of felt trapped because the only way you could leave was by airplane, and for us it's a great opportunity to go in there and be a light to people, share with them the hope we have in Jesus. So that was really neat.
After the Alaskan trip, I would say within the next year, another opportunity came up to go out west. A guy contacted us, wanted us to come out to South Dakota.
And about the same time, there was a gospel convention, singing convention in Manitoba. And so we were able to combine both of those. And so we were gone for, I think, about 20 days.
Canada, we found out that they like their sunflower seeds. Everybody was chewing sunflower seeds at the concert, so that was interesting.
And then from there we went and did a bunch of concerts in the Dakotas. Yeah, just a really good opportunity. The people out there are great. They're really friendly and hospitable.
Yellowstone was my first time there, and that was really neat. Did a lot of hiking, some remote campsites, and everyone there was telling us we needed to have pepper spray for the bears. But we're like, we want to see some bears. We don't want the bears to go away, but didn't end up seeing any bears other than driving in the car. But that was pretty exciting. Caught some fish to eat for dinner, and saw a lot of cool things out there.
So I think before the Alaska trip and before the trip we did out west, pretty much everything else was just weekend tours, like down to Tennessee or down to North Carolina. So it's kind of fun to go on a longer trip. I think we were gone several weeks. So yeah, it was definitely a great memory.
There is something that's gonna happen, and the day is drawing near.
The YouTube videos, we kind of started into that because we cut way back on our live events and touring, just so we could have more time at home, and we all work full-time jobs, so it was just not really reasonable to travel as much as we were and still work.
YouTube has kind of been our niche more than other groups. It's been amazing to see all the support and just all the people we've met and the opportunities that have come from doing videos, and the response has been amazing from that. So it's definitely something we're gonna try to keep doing consistently as our way, maybe to be different from some other groups that are, touring regularly. It's a great opportunity for us.
So I'll start with Ben. I would say Ben he's definitely our organizer when it comes to like just getting all the details of how everything runs together, and planning music videos and concerts and all that kind of stuff. He's kind of the techie guy too. Yeah, as far as just like his personality, he's pretty easygoing, easy to get along with. He's always been a great friend to me.
He would be kind of the brains of the operation. Sometimes he's the planner, does a lot with organizing for our recordings of our albums, setting up videos, things like that. So he's pretty level-headed and keeps us all kind of operating smoothly.
He'd be the more serious of the guys. He's been an encouragement to me spiritually and been a good example, I think, and to us.
Nate, me and him kind of growing up, we were good friends because we're close to the same age, and yeah, hard worker, laid back, easy to get along with.
Nate's a good peacemaker, level-headed, but also knows how to have fun.
Nate, he's been my partner in crime for a while. We're both very ornery, I would say, and so it's been fun, especially traveling. We get to do a lot of crazy stuff.
Caleb, my brother, he is 2 years older than me, but it's kind of funny growing up. I always kind of felt like we were the same age, or maybe sometimes I even, in my mind, I was the older one, because he's kind of the more daredevil, fly by the seat of his pants type guy. He's probably my best friend, and I definitely have enjoyed through the music, just it enables me to spend more time with him and good friends, and so yeah, it's been good.
He does well with communicating. He deals with a lot of phone calls and is good at relating to people, and he's also fun to be around. So we get to have a lot of adventures together.
Caleb's definitely one of the adventurous type, but also he's pretty good at like taking initiative and grabbing the bull by the horns. He's got really good people skills. We all let him talk to talk to the people at the end of our concerts, and we just go clean. No, I'm just kidding, but actually, it's kind of true.
Josh, he's a level-headed guy, and every once in a while we can get him to join in on the fun, but he's the guy everybody likes in the group, being the bass singer, so he gets a lot of attention.
He does a lot of the work with shipping out CDs. He does a lot of behind-the-scenes work, and he's a great guy to get along with, and keeps us all on track sometimes.
Josh is very laid back, but also willing to do a lion's share of the work. So yeah, it's been great, like growing up together, and I mean, they're some of my best friends, and then like I can't imagine life without them.
Ben is very red. That's because he's a redneck.
Amen.
No comentos.
This summer will be our 10th year singing together.
We're looking forward to putting out a new album later on this year.
And it's going to be our 10th anniversary album, so we're super excited about that.
There's going to be some songs we started out singing 10 years ago, and actually finally getting to release those, as well as some other classic gospel songs and a few originals. I think it'll be a neat project.
Make sure you keep your eyes open for that, and get yourself an album when it comes out.
I don't know if people realize, but it does really mean a lot when you get a letter in the mail from a 87-year-old grandma and says she's praying for you every day. I mean, I just get goosebumps thinking about the power of prayer, and really, I feel like we're the most impacted by what God's done of anybody. By the grace of God, we are what we are. We're no better than anybody else. We really need His help in our lives every day, and we're just grateful that we serve a great Savior who's gives us new mercies every day.
Huge thanks to everyone that has supported us through the years, and all the prayers that have been prayed for us, and yeah, all the encouragement, the comments. I know we don't respond to every comment that we get, but we do truly appreciate them, and they're an encouragement to us.
I think for us, the opportunity just to do it is, we feel extremely blessed just to be given the opportunity, and I think, to see how it encourages everyone is, it's a great blessing to us, and the fans we're very appreciative of everything.
So just seeing where our videos reach and how it encourages other people, encourages us ourselves just to see the Lord working in other people's lives. It brings a fulfillment to what we do, more than just that we enjoy doing it.
We're grateful for the prayers and thoughts and thoughtful letters and cards, the gifts people send. It's a blessing to us to be able to see a way that God's able to use the small offering we have to give.